Hi, everyone. An early Shabbat Shalom to you. For my short time with you today, I wanted to share first the memory and then maybe a suggestion as we move into Shabbat and the weekend ahead. Just a year ago, our community, me included, took a trip to Central Europe to visit some of the historically great Jewish cities and communities from Jewish history and to see what they're like today. We started in Warsaw and then made our way to Krakow and eventually to Budapest in Hungary. And it was a fabulous trip. In preparation for that trip, as I am wont to do as a rabbi, I wanted to do my homework first and do my studying so that I knew exactly what we were getting into, since these were places that I'd never been. So, in addition to reading all kinds of histories and historical books about the various cities and countries and Jewish communities and all the literature that exists for those places and times in history, I also reread quite a lot of books that I had read in the past, fiction and biography, all kinds of books. I reread Night in preparation for visiting Auschwitz, as well as Primo Levi's book Surviving Auschwitz. I reread all kinds of books from Peretz and other great European authors that wrote about Jewish life. And it was really just so enriching, so that when we were walking around Europe, I felt like I was there with these people who had witnessed it in previous generations with their own eyes through their own words as well. And it was very enriching. And I've been thinking a lot about that lately as we are having some at least uniquely structured time, if not extra time, on our hands these days. While I think all of us have the proclivity to grab the television remote and just disappear into the world of someone else's imagination, books really are something different. And we, as the Jewish people, known as the people of the book, I think have a special place in our collective hearts for books. This is just a bit of my home collection, let alone the collection that I have in my study at the temple. But a book in particular that's been brought to the forefront as my daughter Jordan and I are about to start reading, for her the first time, for me the first time in many years, a book which I think is relevant for our time being isolated, but also because it's just relevant for so many reasons because of the world that we live in now, is that we are about to read together The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. And so I bring this up to you because this is really an opportunity for you to explore or re-explore some of the great Jewish literature that exists, both traditional books, traditional Jewish works, but books by Jewish authors, biographies and autobiographies, and a way just to enrich this time, to make the most of this time where we are not able to do all of the things that we normally do in our free time, that perhaps we can fill that by enlightening our minds and expanding our minds. Shabbat is an excellent time to just curl up with a good book and really dive in. Of course, there are so many, millions and millions of books on every subject known to humanity about what you could enjoy. But maybe perhaps as we lead into Passover and we have Shabbat here right before us, that using some Jewish works to do that, to deepen our knowledge, not only of our history or ourselves, but just to think a little bit Jewishly. I'm happy to make recommendations of all different kinds of books from throughout the Jewish library. And so if you want to be in touch, you can always send me an email, rabbiweiner@tinr.org, and I would gladly make some suggestions on what might be right for you to start to explore or to re-explore from your own Jewish library in the past. With that in mind, I wish you an enlightening and restful Shabbat. I want to wish you all well. I hope that those of you who are well remain well. Those of you who are not, that you find new strength and a return to healthfulness. And I wish you all a very happy Shabbat Shalom.